Title: Shadows of the Gorgon. In the heart of Maplewood, a quaint town ensconced among towering pines, legends whispered of a Gorgon, one that could petrify a heart with just a glance. It was a story the townsfolk passed down during long, cozy nights by the fire, dismissing it as a fairy tale meant to keep children in line. Yet, a chilly October evening disrupted the stillness of this sleepy town, awakening an ancient terror. 16-year-old Ella Morgan had always been drawn to the myths of old. Her grandmother's stories of heroes, monsters, and magical realms resonated within her soul. But it was the Gorgon, sacred and sinister, that captivated her the most. As the leaves fell in fiery hues, she found herself more intrigued than frightened. It was Halloween season. Pumpkins adorned porches, and the air crackled with a sense of daring adventure. One night, Ella and her friends, Sam and Lily, wandered deeper into the woods than ever before. They sought the famed Gorgon's shrine, said to be hidden beneath a blanket of ivy and thyme. With every step, the atmosphere thickened, the shadows lengthened, and the trees seemed to whisper secrets as they trudged along. "This is just a myth," Sam scoffed, but the unease in his voice betrayed him. "Right?" Ella grinned, feigning confidence, though her heart raced like a drum. "Let's take a photo. If the stories are true, how many people can say they found the Gorgon's shrine?" The trio reached a clearing shrouded in mist. In the center stood a monolithic stone sculpture, adorned with serpents that twisted and curled, their forms flickering in the dim light. It was beautiful yet terrifying. Ella felt a pull, a magnetic force urging her closer. The friends gathered, smartphone flashes popping against the dark backdrop as they snapped pictures. Yet, as they captured the scene for social media, a low rumble echoed in the air. The serpents on the statue began to shimmer, their stone forms shifting as if a power long dormant was awakening. "Guys, look," Lily gasped, her eyes wide with shock. Suddenly, a gust of wind whipped through the clearing, wrapping around them like icy fingers. The ground trembled, and Ella stumbled back, her mind racing with the tales of old, warnings echoing in her brain. This wasn't just a myth, it was reality, and they had disturbed something sacred. "Run!" Sam yelled, panic igniting their limbs. But it was too late. From the stone, the Gorgon emerged, a creature of nightmares. Her skin was a blend of stone and flesh, her hair a tangle of hissing serpents that writhed and slithered, hungry for vengeance. Her eyes, though draped in shadow, glimmered with an otherworldly glow. Ella froze, terror pooling in her stomach. The legends had hinted at her gaze, the bane of all who dared meet it. Her friends screamed, instinctively turning away to escape, but Ella stood entranced, caught in the creature's hypnotic pull. "Turn away," Lily shouted, but Ella's feet felt rooted to the ground. The world around her blurred, the Gorgon's gaze shifting from anger to curiosity. "What are you?" The Gorgon's voice was a haunting murmur, echoing through the clearing as centuries of isolation spilled from her lips. With some inner strength, Ella tore her gaze from the creature and turned to run. The world came alive with frantic movement, branches cracking underfoot as they raced away, the Gorgon's roar echoing behind them, reverberating deep through the woods. They didn't stop until they reached the town. Breathless and terrified, they collapsed in an alley, their hearts pounding. "She's free now," Sam whispered, fear lacing his words. "She won't stop until she finds us," Lily added, her eyes wide with disbelief. "We've messed with forces we don't understand." Quote, Ella stood, mind racing with possibilities. They couldn't let the legend wreak havoc on their town. They had to return to the shrine to seal her away again. The next day, armed with resolve and lanterns, the group crept back into the shadows of the forest. As they approached the clearing, the Gorgon was there, lurking at the shrine, her serpentine eyes scanning for them. "Have you come to challenge me?" she asked, bitterness underlining her tone. "No," Ella shouted, feeling a fire ignite in her belly. "We came to seal the past. You deserve more than this eternal, lonely existence." With a thought and a determination gathered from tales of courage, she led her friends in an ancient chant she'd pieced together from her grandmother's stories, invoking powers lost to time. The Gorgon's eyes widened, reflecting confusion, hope, anger, and despair. As the last syllables filled the air, Light exploded from the stones at the base of the shrine, wrapping around the Gorgon's serpentine hair. She howled, a sound both tragic and beautiful, as she began to dissolve back into the stone. The roar faded into silence as only echoes remained. All was still once more, save for the whispering winds, cradling the last remnants of an ancient tale. Ella and her friends stared at the shrine, knowing they had prevented a catastrophe but feeling the weight of consequences yet to come. As they made their way home, the sun dipped below the horizon, and Ella couldn't help but wonder. Maybe some myths were better left undisturbed.